Let's get some focus on my finger so I can start it up. Doodlebud. Here we have pen number 3 of the batch that was sent to me, the Asvine P50. They sent me 3 pens, the V126, the what is it, the P20 or the P30? I think it's P20, and then also the P50. This is the last one for me to finish up reviewing. I've been using it for, oh gosh, month and a half, 2 months for sure. And I tell you, another winner. No problems with the pen. They have done a fantastic job. I can tell they've really leveled up. So I'll run through, show you what it's all about. I only have a couple little suggestions of just ideas. But other than that, this thing's fantastic. So the shape of the pen did intrigue me a little bit because I feel it looks a little bit like an Aurora 888. And I've actually got my eyes on some Aurora 88 pens at the moment, so I was actually pretty excited to try this one out, which is sort of some similar characteristics and overall shape. And it's quite comfortable. I really like it. You got this lovely ink window, looks great. It's executed perfectly with the pen. It's very functional. It goes with the pen well. There's no issues I can find with how it's put together or assembly. It's just really good job on the ink window. It's a piston filler. The piston's nice and smooth. There's even a tool that they have that works on the piston fillers and also on the back filler. So they have this little stamp steel tool that sometimes I think it was supplied with this one. It wasn't supplied with every pen, but you can also purchase aftermarket as well if you're into taking the pen out and servicing it and all that stuff. This is equipped also with an Asvine pen. Their pens you can also get with a Bock nib or the Asvine nibs. I find their nibs are better. I've had zero issue with their Asvine nibs. I had a different one of their pens that had a Bock nib, and I actually had problems with that one. But I have this one here. This is a extra fine, fine, medium. All of them have performed absolutely perfectly. Smooth, tuning, everything. So yeah, I'm super happy with these. I think I forget what the US retail price is, but Canadian prices on Amazon are like 40. I think this one's 48 and this one will be like say 47. They're all really close to around the same price, so maybe just south of 40 bucks US with exchange there. So I think for these price points, the 126, the P20, here we got the P50, they are absolutely nailing it and they're doing a fantastic job. The cap comes off with 2 rotations. That seems to be familiar on all their pens. I think this one's like 1 3/4, but the other ones are all 2 turns. That would be about the only suggestion I would say is maybe explore your threads. If you can get it as a 1 turn pen, that would be kind of cool. 1 rotation to cap and uncap is just a little bit cooler. But again, nothing wrong with 2, but something to think about maybe on a future model, something like that as well. Pretty basic stuff. There's no kind of real exciting things to report as far as on finials, other than fit and finish on everything is really good. You have a pretty standard looking type clip, functional, works good. It is fairly stiff. Yeah, I've noticed that a little bit. I don't use pen clips to clip on to things very often. I'm always putting my stuff into a pen case, like you can see here in the background. I have a few different pen cases or pen rolls, other stuff as well. I know some people like to put it in shirt pockets. This one would be probably a little trickier in a shirt pocket, but other than that, it works great. It seals wonderfully. I've had 0 hard starts, and that's with all of theirs. You just put ink in it. It writes perfectly out of the box. You put the cap on. You leave the pen, whether it's overnight or over a week or over a month. You take the cap off. It writes perfectly once again. It's just... that's the way it should be. And that's what they're doing. The cap does post on the pen. I find you just push it on just a little bit like that. It stays on there. It's secure. No problems. Doesn't backweight the pen. It's very light. It's an acrylic pen, so very lightweight. We'll get out the scale here in a second. One thing you got to know though, it doesn't bother me. It doesn't happen to me, but if you don't know, you don't know, and you'll be surprised. Now the piston knob will turn. So if we can look here on the ink window, you'll probably see it go up and down a little bit. It's tough to see with contrast. Anyways, if you put it on, you're going to turn the piston now. So if just for whatever reason you're fiddling with the pen when it's capped, you can turn the piston knob. If it's on there very lightly, I won't turn it, but if you put it on there to secure, you can end up turning the piston knob and end up having a mess. So just be mindful of that. But you know, when it's on there, you're not turning the piston knob, so it's not really an issue. I guess it just comes when it goes to take it off, or if you pass the pen to someone else, they go to use it, they start fiddling, and ink gets everywhere, and then they blame you. But it's like, well, don't do that. On here, we got the Asvine logo. This time, it's done via laser, and the laser work on here, spot on, very good, nice and clean. So really good job with that. Yeah, all in all, I'm surprised with these pens. They're doing a great job. I got my tray ready here to do a size comparisons, but before I do that, let me give you the actual dimensions. Let's say 139.5 or so. Just the pen. Oh, not long enough. There we go. That was worth the investment right there. Cap diameter, body diameter. Just after the step down. Here we are just at the start of the threads, and then at the bottom of the section. That's the section length, but you can go longer because these threads really don't bother you whatsoever. Like up to the step down, we're looking at about, 34 millimeters. So comfortable grip. We got lots of room. Low grippers, high grippers, whatever you want to do. This doesn't bother me. This doesn't bother me. You know, no matter what you're doing, I think you're going to be happy getting a hold of this pen in your hand. The P50 in the middle, the P20 over here, the V126, then a Lamy LX, and a Narwhal Peter Draws edition. Here we go again with the caps off. They're all pretty close in size. The Peter Draws here, Narwhal a touch longer, along with the Lamy, but the Asvine, all these three models are very, very similar in length, if not almost exactly the same. I mentioned it's a pretty light pen. This is full of ink. We got, let's just call it 24 grams pop off the cap. There's not too much in the cap. It's only, not even 8 grams. So, you know, now you got about 16 grams here in the body. So nice and light. If you like a nice light pen that's not too small, just kind of medium size, just the right size. Yeah, definitely check this one out. For ink capacity, I didn't try to do a super mega fill or anything. But when I did it really quick, just sort of a regular fill, I believe I was around 1.4 milliliters of ink. I'll confirm everything though and leave the info down in the description. Of course, the Asvine site will have it as well. We got some Rhodia paper. The ink I'm using, this is Stillform Blue. So that was part of another pen I reviewed, Stillform. This is the bottle of blue ink that was included. It's a fairly light blue, which I thought sort of goes with the overall pen color. With a quick look at the writing sample, it performs wonderfully. Line variation, I mean, not too much. This is not a flex nib, so don't push on it hard. You can get a little bit of a thicker line, and maybe if you have to underline something, but otherwise, it's a really good nib. It's an extra fine, so the writing experience isn't amazingly smooth or something, but for an extra fine, it's quite good. It's as smooth as any other good extra fine nibs that I have. I'm happy with the wetness, everything else. It's dialed in perfectly. Final thoughts on the P50. It's a great pen. Just really nothing bad to say with it at all. Like I said, the only thing, maybe play around with getting a one-turn cap for your pens. Otherwise, yeah, they're doing a great job for this price range. I think they're a really good option. As far as my favorite between the three, the V126, P20, P50, I think the P50 just feels a little bit better in my hand. Also, the coloring on this one is probably persuading me a little bit too. I think that just this color, the amber with the gold, looks phenomenal. I'm looking forward to seeing some other color resins they'll go for with this lineup here as well. Yeah, they are doing a great job. It's just build, they're doing their own nibs, all this stuff. You're getting a really good pen. I always thought maybe a year and a half ago, Mahjong was my go-to for pens in this price range for Chinese manufacturers. Asvine has really, they've gone up a notch. I'd be looking at them possibly over Mahjong right now. I think they're just delivering a nice product, built well, and the pricing is fantastic. And these nibs, the Asvine nibs, I prefer them right now over the box counterparts that they offer as well. Figure we might as well shut it down there. Got nothing else to say other than thanks to Asvine for sending me these pens here to review. It was really great of them. I appreciate them reaching out and them also saying they took into consideration a bunch of other things I've said in a previous video, and they've made improvements. It's noticeable. It's very, very noticeable. So thanks for reaching out. I'll have a link to their Amazon store in the description, a Aliexpress store too if you're not into Amazon, on where you can get these. If you have any questions, we can try to chat down there in the comments. Appreciate that one. Really appreciate if you hit that one. Leave it there. Catch you next time.